up, guys? Matt Bright here, CBAutoInnovations. We're going to be doing the first episode of Behind the Bill with Brian Phillips here in his 1991 Mustang Foxbody, and he's going to tell you the story behind it.
So thanks, Matt. Hey, I appreciate you wanting to do this. Quick backstory on the car. I've owned it March of 1999. Bought it from a friend of a friend, and he become a friend. So I've had it a long time, had it 27 years. My wife and I dated in this car. Not on purpose, but our oldest child, he came home from the hospital in this car too. That wasn't on purpose, but we just happened to be in town. She went into labor. The quick backstory is my wife and I were actually on our first date with another couple that we're friends with, and I got a phone call about this car. My friend Doug called me, says, "Hey, Sean's selling his car." And previously, before this car, I had an 87 GT T-top car that got wrecked, and so I was without a Mustang at the time. I think this makes number 12 that I've had Foxbodies, but this is the only one I've ever kept all that long. So that's kind of how I attained the car. Drove it as a daily driver for a lot of years. It's been through a lot of iterations, and Matt was instrumental in us going back to what it is today. Then when we do the walk around, you get to see what all he and I done. Everything on the car where it sits now was either done by me, my son, or Matt. So it's a pretty cool friendship we've made over a car, and what we get to talk to y'all about it today.
Well, let's take a look at it. Starting with the front of this car, you've pretty much replaced everything, right? Like the new emblem, new Ford emblems.
Oh yeah, it's got NOS emblems. I don't know why I paid for that, but yeah, it's got all new NOS. And I wanted to stick with 3-piece headlights, but I wanted something more modern, so that's why it's got the ultra clears on it instead of the standard halogens. Probably to start, we'll look under the hood.
Yeah.
So kind of trying to keep almost a resto mod kind of car. So under here is just a rebuild. Actually, it's just re-ringed, new bearings and everything in the stock 302 short block. But I wanted to kind of keep 93 era, so it's got GT40 3-bar heads on it, iron heads. Of course, you can see the Cobra intake, 65mm throttle body. So that's still kind of 93 era, even though what you can't see on the car, which we'll highlight, is all modern. It is running on Mega Squirt PMP, so that's why there's not a mass air meter. It's on speed density. The filters in the fender well. It does have air conditioning. So again, rebuilding this car, my wife and I just wanted to date again. We just wanted to cruise in it, so it had to have air conditioning. But prior to Matt getting it, I mean, we gutted the car. Matt got it, and it was just a shell. So I put in Scott rod panels, did a semi wire tuck on it. As you can see, the harness is just under the pinch well, but all the other wires are in the fender. And to keep Matt from doing a lot of body work, all the Scott rod panels are welded and ground in to keep body filler to a minimum. So I had this Kenny Brown strut tower brace probably 20 years, I mean, at least. So it's kind of nostalgic. I wanted to put it back on there, even though it doesn't match the rest of the suspension, because talking about that is the entire under suspension on the car is Maximum Motorsports. So it's got a Maximum Sports K-member, tubular A-arms, coilovers, adjustable rear, lower control arms for Maximum Motorsports. So it's a lot more modern. It rides a little stiffer because of that. And then Hydro Boost brakes. I wanted to upgrade and do modern brakes on it instead of having that big brake booster in there, because if I ever one day want to mod mode it or put a Coyote in it, I've got the space now. Brake systems on it, it's just Cobra brakes, 94 Cobra brakes front and back. So just nothing real special, but a lot more braking power than the stock 10-inch disc in the fronts and then the drums in the back.
We already talked about the wheels being so unique to this car. What was the story again you were wanting to talk about on the having to sell that idea to your wife?
Yeah, well, first off, it's the 5th set of wheels that's ever been on this car. I mean, I've had the car a long time, right? I've had it 27 years, so it's had ponies on it. It's had weld drag lights, big and littles. It's had weld, I think it had a set of weld rod lights on it. a set of Saline style 5 spokes, and then now this more Euro style wheel. But yeah, the bronze wheel really had the seller on it. It's kind of in the shade. They're not as bronze, but they're burnt bronze. My son had to help sell the wife on it with the color combination because I didn't like black wheels on it.
Right.
I've lived the argent color and the chrome, and I wanted something different and modern, right? So it's more of a Euro style wheel. We were able to, without mini tubbing it or anything, was able to put some pretty good size tires on the back. The offsets, so if anybody's doing this, so the rear end width is actually 94, 95 Cobra width. So it's SN95 width rear end. So you have to use a different offset in the back, and those are actually S197 offsets on this wheel. The front is actually SN95 offset on the fronts.
Okay,
so,
yeah, so the fitment's perfect.
So it came out just about right. I had to call SVE to actually get them to find the right wheel in their warehouse so that I could do it. So they were gracious. People got different opinions on that company, but they've been great with parts on this car.
That's similar, like my 91, my white one I was talking about. I put the SN95 suspension, the wider suspension up under it, so I ended up running like a Japanese offset wheel with like a plus 47 in the rear, and I think it's about a plus 40 in the front is what mine ended up being. It was real similar.
I've got the specs on my phone. I can't remember exactly. These were almost just right. If anybody remembers, in the motorsports catalog, you could buy the M2500K brake kit, and it came with the axles that were SN95 width to be able to run that. And you had to run like a Cobra R58 wheel and a R11 wheel to get the offsets right on it. So this is very close, but it came out pretty good. It came out pretty close.
Oh yeah.
And then interior wise, my son at the time was working at Spiegel's Custom Upholstery in Coleman, so it worked out for me. So when it was time to do the interior, he was instrumental in this. He did the headliner. They did, I think, I don't know if Kyle or Dad, but one of them did the visors. Chandler did the door panels. And then I got the seats actually from another Mustang friend of mine over in Decatur. He had a set of these 2016 seats. But what's pretty cool about it was Chandler was able to, we'll open it, but I'll show you the back. He was able to get the back seat in it, and they still fold down like a Foxbody. It's a little dirty cool, back here, but so they actually still work like a Foxbody. I need to figure out a cover for the hinge over there in the middle, but other than that, he made it work. So that was pretty cool. So I was really fortunate that Chandler was working at that upholstery shop at that time to get help with that. Batteries in the back, of course.
So you got your duck call logo there.
Yeah, so that's been on there for many years, and it survived. So I didn't have the heart to razor blade it off. So yeah, that's actually my old logo from. I started doing duck calls in 2005. That's the logo from back then. That's my old Labs head, a silhouette of it. I don't even use that logo anymore. Exhaust wise, it's nothing fancy. Original Flowmaster. So I've had the Flowmasters on this car for 27 years. I reuse them. They're 3 chambers, so they're kind of quiet. But a friend of mine, Scott Strebel in Kentucky, in Bowling Green, has friends at Holly. And so he got me these tailpipes and drove them all the way down here from Bowling Green and delivered them in person for me. So that was pretty cool of Scott for doing that.
Yeah, that looks like the old school logo. Like, I don't think they have that anymore on those.
So that was pretty cool he did that. So I've had a lot of help on the car. And of course, Matt, instrumental in the bodywork and paint. One thing we had to do a little bit more on the history is the original owner had had an aftermarket sunroof cut in it. And whoever did it, they put it too far back and they cut through the bow that goes through here. Well, because of that, all that glass was just sitting in sheet metal. You know, I mean, it's thin. So over 20 something years, I started noticing that it was sagging. Yeah. So I pulled the headliner down and noticed they cut through the bow. It was such a janky job. They cut through it, and all they had to do was remove one spot weld, but they left on each side the piece of the bow still in there. All they had to do was remove that. So anyway, so I bought a parts car and got a roof skin. My wife wanted a sunroof, so I actually found a 4-cylinder Calypso car and was able to rob the roof skin off of it. And I guess I should give some of that background in a minute on how this restoration started. So We can talk about that in a minute. But
what made you move your battery to the rear? I just seen.
I had to because of the Scott Rod panels.
Oh, okay.
So the battery. Oh geez, it's been so long. The battery sits. I think it sat there. And then if you notice, I don't have a windshield washer reservoir, but I don't really drive this car where I'd need it.
Yeah.
So I'll clean the windshield if I have to for that. The only thing that didn't get touched on this car, every bolt and nut got touched on it, but I didn't rebuild the transmission. It's got a stock T5. It's probably got, it's got over 150,000 miles on it. But this is the one car I didn't abuse out of all the Mustangs I had. So it's still held up, but I mean, there has not been anything that hadn't been touched on this car. Had to go with a Be Cool radiator. It's got Contour fans on it, which is a popular upgrade, electric fans. And luckily with running the Mega Squirt, I can control when the fans come on or off, through the laptop instead of having to put a sensor, a coolant sensor to turn them on and off. So I can run one fan or I can run two fans. Typically I run one fan if it gets up to 100 and right at the thermostat temperature, like 190 degrees. And then if I'm running the air conditioner, one stays on constantly for that. Trying to think what else, Matt. I mean, there's a lot of little details I'm sure we're leaving out, but that's kind of the build, I guess you'd say. So it's kind of retro mod, I guess. Still got a lot of 93 to it, but up under it's all modern aftermarket suspension with Maximum Motorsports, which I think is some of the best out there. It may not be the lightest, but they're more driven towards road course stuff.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted.
Very heavy duty built. Yeah,
it's real heavy. It doesn't save you any weight, but now you can drive this Foxbody like you couldn't stock Foxbody. I mean, with the body roll and going around curves, you can really take curves in this car and stuff. And that's what I was kind of after.
So what this series is going to be about is not only the car but the owner's story. So that's what Brian and I made friends over the last few years, and I kind of want to document this whole process. So we've talked about the car, Brian. What made you? I mean, we talked about your passion for Mustangs, but what made you pick this car in particular? As far as why Mustangs, does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't. So probably the better would be why I kept it and didn't abuse it. I got this car, I was 20, it's probably about 21. I'm 48 now, but I'd had a lot of fun with cars. I'd spent a lot of money, broke a lot of stuff, and I got this car. And about that time in life, it was just like, it's just time just to have a car as a car. I still had a lot of fun in this car too, don't get me wrong, but I didn't abuse it, and that's why it was the one. That's why I've kept it. But probably the main reason I mentioned it earlier is it's the car Carmen and I dated in, me and my wife, so it's sentimental to her as well. I almost sold it one time, and I was outside. It was at our old house. I was outside washing it. She came outside and said, "Don't sell it." So yeah, that's probably why this is the one, and I hope it stays around the family forever. Who knows what the kids will do with it one day, but it won't leave here. It won't be sold. Even if we fall on hard times, it'll probably be the last item we would ever sell.
Yeah. Well, when did the restoration process start?
So kind of, I think I might have mentioned it earlier, but 11 years ago, I noticed the roof skin sagging. So I bought a 4-cylinder parts car to get the roof skin off of it, and I bought another Calypso car just because I didn't want to have the underside. If anybody looked at it, I want to make sure it was the right color, with the overspray and all that. So anyway, so I started the restoration technically 11 years ago. Got the roof skin after 200 and something plus spot welds, and melting the lead out of the corners and all that. Got the roof skin off both cars. Got it set on this car, and then my son was about to turn 16. At that time, I bought a wrecked Wrangler, Jeep Wrangler, a YJ, and it had been hitting the side. So I put the car on hold to fix his car or his Jeep. We got it done and everything. Then life just happened. It sat in the garage right in there, right across from where me and you were sitting.
I remember.
Man, it wound up just boxes on top of it, dust from making duck calls, wood dust all over it. It became a workbench. It just sat there, and every once in a while, you know, my son would come by. I was like, Dad, we need to get back on your car. It's like, Dad, we need to get back on the car. And I wouldn't do it. I wasn't motivated. You know, I kind of lost motivation. And then somewhere around 2020, when COVID happened, I wasn't traveling for work, so I was at home. And I kind of had the thought of, you know, I need to work on this car. I got a little bit of time. I don't have to commute to work or anything like that. So my wife asked me, says, hey, what's going to be the most expensive part of restoring this car? And I said, it's going to be the paint and body work. So I asked a friend of mine, Matt Masters, that Matt Bryant was already friends with. I said, hey, do you know somebody that you would trust that would work on this car? And he said, yeah. He says, I went to school with a guy that's what he does. So Matt Masters got Matt Bryant and I in contact, and kind of full circle, right? I mean, I met Matt Bryant right here in the driveway. He came and looked at the car because it was in pieces, wasn't running. And here we are with a air quote finished car. None of them are ever finished, but with a finished car right back where we started back in 2020, and now it's 2026.
All right, well, Brian, I appreciate you know, being part of the process. I love the story of how you got this car and you know, what all it's been through in your life and what it means. And that's you know, that's why we're doing this series, is to reflect on that. And you know, it's more about you rather than your story with the car than the car itself. You know, I mean, you can get online and see a 1,000 cool Mustangs. I mean, you've got one of them, don't get me wrong, but you know, but it's your Mustang. This one, there's not another one out there that you can find on the internet anywhere, you know, and the story that goes along with you. So that's what I
well, Matt, it's been great, because I mean, you think back, I mean, we met through a mutual friend 2020, you know, and it's in this driveway, right? I mean, that car was in pieces in the garage, and you know, you came up here and Price doing the body work and the paint, and here we are, you know, 6 years later doing this, and the car's, you know, finished, you know. But it's pretty cool. We developed a friendship from it. I mean, Matt and I mean, we talk, you know, periodically, actually pretty often, come to think of it, you know. So yeah, it's just, the cool part of the car culture is the people you meet and the friends you make. And I know originally this started off as a business transaction, but we become friends because of it, you know. And it's been great that you have a part in it. And we're sitting here doing this, you know, this story now about the car and where it come from and all that, and the friendships made throughout this restoration.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I want to
Matt,
see this thing run.
Great. Yeah, let's go drive.